I have been working in claims and appraisals for over 2 decades. I was also with disaster response with the federal government and the general contractors.
Yes.
So I've been involved in it for almost 3 decades. The most significant and the most significant and lasting changes I've seen, really, it's because I started in the business working off of mainframe CRTs, okay, like everybody else. Right before Y2K and all that stuff, I was in grad school. And at that time, claims were primarily, we had some mainframe logging and such, but it was primarily a manual system, folders, files, regular dial phones and such. So the biggest changes that I've seen in that time period include how the estimating of a claim is put together, rather than manual and paper, taking photographs on a 35 millimeter recorder. It's become digitized. It's become uniform. There are estimating systems now that you can have a drone capture an image of a roof, create a diagram of that, and it can be imported immediately into an estimating system. So it's taken away a lot of the manual piece of it.
Right.
And which, of course, that translates into a couple of things. Uniformity and reduction of the need for field staff necessarily.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's a big change. I've also seen a big change going from a whole bunch of vendors being involved, collision shops, tow trucks, all local folks, water mitigation companies, to companies working with third-party administrators and national or global networks instead, where companies have said, well, we don't want to rely upon the vagaries of local claim offices doing their own thing. We are now, we're going to try to make it uniform, controllable, accessible, instant information. But what that hasn't changed necessarily is how the vendors are doing their work. So that's kind of an anchor on the fast boat, as it were. Additionally, a really big change went on is the evacuation of intellectual capital within the claim organizations. That's a big. When I came on board, I remember walking around the claim office and looking at the placards on people's desks. 20 years experience, 25, 30 years.
Right.
And as those people retired, the companies really that was the initiative of, well, maybe we're not going to replace everybody. And it's in the meantime, you had this whole cadre of persons who had knowledge built over a few decades leaving the business. And in the insurance world, as you well know, you can't learn claims out of a book.
Absolutely.
It's an experiential thing. It's. I always said I could write an algorithm that could settle a dollar amount of a claim within a certain amount. Because if you get enough data, you can do that.
Right.
But you can't teach an algorithm to be empathetic or to understand what the customer needs next.
Right.
That's a difficult piece. And that's a really big change that I've seen. Not that it's bad for my business, because I'm the insurance elephant, but I also work for an engineering company. Right. So if the staff of insurance companies don't necessarily have all the expertise, well, who do they have to call? They have to call someone who has somebody who might have the expertise. Right. So it's a double-edged sword. It helps on one side, and on the other side, I get a little distressed that where's the business going. So those are the big changes I've seen.
Okay.
But and it's an ironic thing. The more we tend to uniformity, the less training and ability there is to apply discretion, and that's a piece that's missing. As you lose intellectual capital, you lose that decision-making capability. So that's a big change. So that's that question.
Yep.
Now,
Great.
the next